Hey guys, first regards from here, and I'll be talking about a heroic instigator bolt carbine build for the sniper class in patch 11.0 Space Marine 2. Now, the new heroic instigator bolt carbine, the wrapped edition, is by far the best instigator bolt carbine in this game. It has a better DPS output than every single relic tier option, which does kind of suck because these have pretty much been completely power crept. The only place where these weapons are better than the Instigator Heroic version is if you're at like very long range, because this one is definitely better at like close to medium range. But to be honest, if you are using a heroic version or really any Instigator Bolt Carbine, you're going to be wanting to be close to medium range anyways, so it's really just all upside in my opinion. And for the perk tree here, I do just build it down this way with Extended Magazine into the perk here, Reload Restoration. After reloading, the ammo reserve is restored by 50% of the number of enemies hit, cannot exceed maximum ammo capacity. Now I will say, if you want to take the top tree here and pick up the perk Headhunter and the perk here Efficient Hunter for like that little bit of extra damage, you definitely can, but I don't really find this like super valuable. I think the ammunition extended magazine is just nicer to fire for longer, and having this does up your ammo economy tremendously, so it's just my preferred. Next perk here is Divine Might for a 10% damage increase. Then I pick up the perk here, Fast Reload, for having our weapon reload 10% faster. Moving down here into the perk Increased Capacity, and then I pick up the perk A Great Might for 10% bonus against Terminus. To be honest, this weapon's not like super amazing versus a lot of Terminus in the game. It's okay versus a Neurothrope. Its damage is not remotely as good as a Bolt Sniper Rifle or Stalker Bolt Rifle, but it is pretty good for them, and this does help out a little bit. Next perk here is Recoupment. Killing a resource level or higher enemy with a headshot this weapon restores an armor segment. Cooldown is 15 seconds. Now, having armor restore built into your weapon is incredible. This perk is on basically every single bolt weapon in Space Marine 2, and it's really good on all of them because any amount of armor remaining in Space Marine 2 will reduce an incoming melee hit to 0 damage no matter what, including from bosses, so a really valuable option here. And having drip-fed armor also really helps out with perks like Conviction that we have over here. They give us a 25% health damage reduction for 15 seconds on armor break, so cycling back into that's quite easy. Now, the perk up here, Tactical Precision, headshots deal 20% more damage, and non-headshot damage it decreases by 10%. This is pretty much a mandatory perk in my opinion. Now, in the actual code for this game, this is supposedly a 30% headshot damage increase and a 10% reduction to all range damage, and it's actually better than it sounds initially, but either way, this perk is incredible. Pretty much always pick it up. And even if you were to like build all the way down this row or all the way down the bottom row to pick up Death Strike and perks like Inspired Aim, this perk will still give you more damage if you pick up things like Headhunter and go all the way down this row instead, because it is just that good. Headshots are pretty much all that matter on bolt weapons in the first place, and this one just ups that, so pretty much always grab it. Next perk here is Headhunter. Then I move here into the perk Rapid Health. When your health is below 30%, killing 7 enemies in rapid succession restores your health by 10%. This is really nice on the sniper because the sniper is actually quite tanky with Conviction active. If you have this extra bit of HP to make sure you don't get one shot, that is pretty useful. Now on siege mode, you will get one shot regardless at times with this, or like some of the hard stratagems, but still pretty nice to have. And the next perk here you could take instead is Perpetual Penetration, and just like skip over the fast reload perk here if you wanted to. I decided to take this one instead because this one has a fairly long reload speed. Now, as far as the secondary option goes, I do take the Heroic Heavy Bolt Pistol. This one is kind of a maligned weapon in Space Marine 2 currently. A lot of people think this thing sucks. I think this is one of the best heroic weapons in the game currently. The gun strike of this gun is the highest in the entire game. The heroic perk effect here is called No Help Is Coming. Shooting an enemy with the Elite Scream status effect stops you from calling for reinforcements, and headshots kill in one shot. Now, since you are one-shotting the reinforcement calling guys on top of the fact you are removing the horde they would be calling, you're actually saving a lot of ammo, so the low magazine capacity and ammo reserves of this really don't hurt that much. They could boost up the ammo reserves a bit in my opinion, but either way, it is still very good, and usually, in absolute difficulty or hard stratagems, an elite calling enemy will just go into enraged mode regardless, like if you actually interrupt their call at all, so you're really removing an enraged enemy on top of the horde, which is really nice for like one shot, which is why I do like this weapon quite a bit, on top of that gun strike damage. Now, for the perk tree on this, I just go all the way down the bottom row. Like the only majorly important perks here are like Death Strike for 25% more damage on a melee kill or finisher, and the perk here, Able Damage, after using class ability damage increases by 20% for 10 seconds, and the perk up here, Tactical Precision, once again, for the reasons I previously stated, and that's pretty standard here. Now, if you're playing this on like the Tactical or something, I would just go up this row instead, because they don't have like a super like useful class ability to spam out like we do on a camo cloak and stuff like that. but that is up to you. Next weapon here is the Power Gladius. This is the heroic combat knife. This weapon is incredible in Space Marine 2 currently for patch 11.0. They buffed up the heroic perk effect Agile Strike. After a perfect dodge, the next melee attack deals 120% more damage, can be stacked up to 3 times. This one will now last 1 second after the initial attack, so you get a 360% damage bonus potentially on like a heavy attack. That is tremendous. I think this is like the best in slot knife in the entire game currently. Even the block knife has kind of just been like power crept by this one. It is a bit harder to use because it is a balanced weapon, but even with that in mind, the bonus damage of this thing on top of a 7+ speed is tremendous, and it feels really good to use, and like the only thing that kind of sucks is just that balance window. Now, for the perk tree here, I do build it a little bit differently than the block knife. I pick up Perpetual Strength, moving here into the perk Kinetic Energy for more heavy attack damage, then I move here into the perk Perpetual Strength, and Perpetual Strength once again for a 10% melee damage increase. Then we grab the perk here, a Heavy Onslaught, for even more heavy attack damage, and then I grab the perk Reeling Blow into Shadow Stab because this perk will just straight up one-shot a Lictor and stuff like that, while Agile Strike is active, like up to a certain point. And the next perk here is Extremis Slayer, and the final perk is Hard Target, which is while performing a light combo, you take 15% less range damage. This is actually pretty easy to trigger on this weapon because we have a 7+ speed, which is why I pick it up on here, where like otherwise I would kind of just forego it on a block knife for the 4+ speed. That is up to you as well. You could go up here for Shoulder Bash and like skip these 2 perks, but I decided to take it this way today. Now, for the perk tree, I did take the perk Melee Mastery first. Melee damage increases by 20% against patrols level and higher enemies, moving here into the perk Adaptability for even more melee damage after our Camo Cloak is activated or we have low ammo. This perk is very strong. A 25% melee damage buff for 10 seconds is really nice to have, and this perk is just really nice to have on top of that, on top of the Agile Strike damage, because you will just hit like a truck while this perk effect is active, and having all these extra melee damage bonuses on top of that is just a really nice perk effect to have. Next perk here is Dexterous Hands. Bolt carbines reload 20% faster, and their weapon spread and recoil reduced by 15%. This is kind of a no-brainer to take here because this perk and this perk do literally nothing for you on this build, so definitely pick this one up. Next perk here is up to you with Marksmanship. Headshot damage increases by 10% for all of your squad members. I just like to have this perk quite a bit. If you want to have a super safe build setup here, you could take Squad Renewal and Purification. Purification gives all of your CHP back on a Camo Cloak, which is incredible in this game, and Squad Renewal just enables your Camo Cloak. If you are going to be taking like any perk here that's not Squad Renewal, I would just take Renewal, because without one of these 2 perks, your Camo Cloak is like basically fucking worthless half the time, so definitely pick up at least one of these, but I'm taking Marksmanship and Renewal here today. Next perk here is Targeted Shot. The first range attack that breaks Camo Cloak deals 75% more damage. Now, in patch 11.0, they did buff up this perk to work on the burst weapons for like 5 shots, and 5 shots is the entire burst of your Heroic Instigator Carbine. That is another reason this is like the best in slot option for all the Instigator Bolt Carbines currently, because the other ones here, they only get 3 shots of bonus damage off of targeted shots. Like, you're actually better off going for Tactical Ambush with them, but on this one, you can get 5 whole shots with a 75% damage increase. That is damn well enough to like nearly put a Tyranid Warrior into execute off a single cloak. That's a really strong option, so that's why I like this perk in combo here quite a bit. Next perk here is Persistence. When Camo Cloak deactivates, you take 20% less health damage and don't lose control from heavy hits and can't be knocked back for 10 seconds. This perk is like the only 10-second no knockback the sniper can get, period. The only other no knockback effect in this entire game for sniper is like in his weapon perk tree, and the perk down here with Indomitable Spirit for no knockback on gun strikes, which we're also taking. But I do like this one quite a bit because 20% less health damage is really nice for tanking, for having like a tankiness to our class, on top of Conviction here for a 25% health damage reduction, and these 2 combined will take to like 45%, which is pretty good. Now, Lingering Concealment is very strong as well if you want to take this one instead. That is up to you. And they also buffed up the perk here, Ambush, this patch. This one is still pretty ass, so I would skip over it, but if you want to take this for like the memes, you definitely could do that as well. Next perk here is the signature perk, Pattern of Excellence, performing 3 consecutive headshots, restores equipment charged by 1. The cooldown is 30 seconds. Now, this is a god tier perk in Space Marine 2, being able to get 30-second Melt-A-Bombs, crack grenades, shock grenades, frags, you name it. Melt-A-Bombs will carry entire encounters on their own. Wiping out an Extremis during a boss spawn will save your life half the time, and this is also like your main form of horde clear on this entire class in general, because without Melt-A-Bomb spam, this class doesn't have like an easy answer to triple lictors and stuff like that, so I would definitely take this perk. Now, for the Prestige perk selection, I went for something a little different here. I am skipping over Versatile Precision on this build. We do have a pretty good ammo economy on our Instigator Bolt Carbine here with Reloaded Restoration, so like if you don't want to take this perk, you really don't have to. So I decided to go for Emperor's Grace first, into the perk here versus, not versatility, Indomitable Spirit, into Conviction and Exacting Focus. Since we are doing more gun strikes with our weapon here, the Power Gladius, thanks to the balanced defense window, we will be actually triggering this all the time for a 20% damage buff, which is really damn good in this game. A 20% range damage buff for 10 seconds is pretty damn strong, and Emperor's Grace has been a god tier perk for like ever, and Indomitable Spirit is nice to have because there are times where you will not have this perk active for the no knockback, and having that no knockback on your gun strike will just save your life. So definitely grab this one for this build, in my opinion. If you do want to skip over this for Versatile Precision, you could. That is up to you, but either way, I would take the final perk here, Conviction, for that 25% health damage reduction, because without this, you will simply die in times where like otherwise you would survive. So that's pretty much all I have to say about the Prestige perk tree, and that's pretty much all I have to say about this build. There was a lot to talk about with the sniper class. You know, the DPS output of this weapon is tremendous at close range, but like it can be difficult for people to like properly hit all the 5-round bursts at long range. This is primarily a close to medium range weapon. If you're trying to go for like a long range build, I would take a bolt sniper or like a stalker bolt rifle. I'll probably talk about these again at some other point in time, but for now, this is a pretty king weapon for the close range combat, and hopefully this build guide helped you. And if you like content like this, subscribe for more, and as always, thank you for watching. Take it easy. Bye.
Concussive ordnance thrown. Alien bioform eliminated. Chameleoline cloak ready. Throwing grenade. Europrobe. Aim for the head. Fire on the exposed coolant rods. Active camouflage charge. Stealth ready. Tyranids have no mind for tactics. Chameleoline engaged. Chameleoline cloak ready. I am a phantom of death. Changing magazine. Tyranid eyepiece sighted. Active camouflage charged. These shall not. Aim at the damaged sections. Stealth ready.
Yo, FTG, do you resemble your portrait at all? Yeah, it's actually a portrait. Like the ones the revolutionary guys had. Same thing, basically.
Chameleoline engaged. Readying next volley. Active camouflage charge. We have a laser. Fire on the exposed coolant rods. Chameleoline cloak ready. Rearming. Shock grenade deployed. So and fro. Striking down detection. Active camouflage charged. Reloading. So-and-so is no more. Aim at the damage section. Readying next body. Fester and rot. See loss of population. Emilio line engaged. Reload. Active camouflage charge. Emilio line cloak active. Alien firebomb eliminated. Inserting fresh magazine. Emilio line cloak ready.
We have lost contact with Heraton leader, and Octavio is pinned down. You must destabilize the plasma reactor. Our brothers from Phaedrus and Heraton shall not have died in vain.
We are at the reactor. It dug its own grave. So it's striking down with it. All fury and
Black
thunder.
Templars are the coolest. They have cool outfits. I'm not a big fan of their color scheme. Like, you know, when you start to go way off.
Fire on the jumpies. Emilio line close ready. Emilio line close active. The bomb drive. Rearming. Stealth ready. Sun captain set. Reloading. Emilio line engaged. Meltag active camouflage charge. We lanced that system.
Apology, they never joined the Adeptus Custodians. They must soon. I killed. Oh, I killed somebody. They just teleported me? Is that a brand new one?
Changing magazine. Stealth. Alien bioform eliminated. We live. We don't die. Sadly. Emilio line cloak ready. Rearming. Private launching. Active camouflage charge. Laying melter charge. Tyranids have no mind for tactics. Reloading. It is attacking.
Oh, that's actually good. Nice job. You know, you deserve that.
It is preparing an attack from above.
I thought you could have my cloak there. Oh my god. Get fucked.
If this be my
That was a hard one to perfect dodge with the balance weapon.
shall not guide us.
I wonder, actually, you know, I can't really test right now, so I'll probably just get slapped up if I do, but I wonder if you just spam your back stuff instead, you'll actually just not take anything there. I should use my stim. Or dodge that. I'm really just gonna hit by every single one of these, huh? Try to be like that.
Rearming. Unseen, I stalk my target. Watch for its pincers. Readying next volley. The prime is lunging. Swarm eyes. Shoot them. Active camouflage charge. I am a phantom of Camelio line. Is he preparing an attack from above? Camelio line close activated. Active camouflage charge. Camelio line end. It is attacking.
No, I don't think you can.
The prime is lunging.
I guess we're better off doing it that way.
Inserting fresh magazine. Watch out for those volatile energy spikes. Line cloak ready. Active camouflage charge. One down. The other is still active. We have cornered the second one. Stealth is ready. Reloading. It is attacking. Active camouflage.
Okay, there we go.